There is something really interesting going on in the still early stages of the 2020 general election. Now, I'm saying general election because the Democratic primary, I guess we can say, is well underway now. Debates start in just a couple of weeks. But on the general election side, Donald Trump is only now starting to even really campaign in earnest. You might remember that he filed for re-election. I think it was on Inauguration Day in 2017 or soon thereafter or right before, right around Inauguration Day 2017. Trump was, technically speaking, running for re-election in 2020, but he's not really fully started his campaign. And it turns out that the Trump campaign in the last several weeks has taken some internal polls of key battleground states, and Donald Trump is losing badly in some of those. And we've now learned, thanks to a really good New York Times report, that Donald Trump has been going out of his way to demand that his staffers and his administration suppress the negative internal polls that they have taken. For example, internal polls in Michigan and Pennsylvania show that Donald Trump is currently losing badly against any of the hypothetical Democratic presidential nominees. Important to understand, these are internal campaign polls. They're not public polls. They're polls that the campaign takes for their own purposes. Trump's campaign went and did polling in 17 states. And when Donald Trump was presented with the information, he said, no, 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 say that we're doing well and bury this data. We don't want this stuff getting out. Now, unfortunately, even without the incipient leaks from the Trump administration, other pollsters have also been polling in many of these states, and that information is now public. Morning Consult, for example, found that registered voters in a bunch of states are really negative on Donald Trump. Only 39% of New Hampshire voters approve of Trump. Only 42% of Wisconsin voters approve of Trump. Trump has a minus 13 unfavorability versus favorability rating. Remember, Trump won Wisconsin narrowly in 2016. Michigan, which Trump won in 2016, he's minus 12 in terms of approval. Iowa, which Trump won in 2016, he's minus 12 in favorability. Pennsylvania, minus 7. He won that in 2016. Arizona, Trump is now minus 6, which he won in 2016. Ohio and North Carolina, Trump won both. He's minus 4 right now. And even if you look incredibly at some solidly red states that Trump won in 2016, it's shaky. In Georgia, Trump is only plus 1. In North Dakota and Kansas, Trump is only plus 1. Texas and Indiana, Trump is only plus 3 in net favorability. Now, before I go any further, this tells us nothing about how 2020 will go, okay? This doesn't mean, no matter where you vote, that you don't have to worry about voting for someone other than Donald Trump. But these numbers, combined with Trump panicking and trying to suppress news of this polling, does tell us that, number one, Trump is at least somewhat worried. Number two, Trump knows that to some degree, things are not looking great in some of these key states. And number three, this tells us Trump can easily be removed in 2020 if voter turnout is what it should be, what it could be, what we want it to be. In one sense, though, I think it's good that Donald Trump is reacting this way to negative polls. If Trump saw negative polls and said, I need to turn on my campaign game 100%, that's actually something he could do to turn these numbers around. If Trump sees these numbers and says, let's suppress them rather than let me campaign really hard, hopefully he just hangs out, plays golf, watches Fox News, ignores the polling, ignores the dissatisfaction from the country, tweets nonsense, and that'll help him be defeated. But as Trump's opposition, it's really important that we not be in any way satisfied just by seeing this data into thinking that this is going to be an easy one in 2020 by any means. In every state, every voter should be behaving as if your vote could be the vote that hands your state either to Donald Trump or to somebody else by virtue of whether you choose to vote or choose to stay home. We don't know which states are going to ultimately make the difference. It could, once again, be places like Michigan and Wisconsin. It could be somewhere else. The polling is interesting. Trump's internal team finding that he's losing bigly in some of these states is fascinating, but none of it should be used as a reason to do anything other than vote in the primary, Vote in November of 2020, period. Let me know what you think about this latest state polling in key battleground states. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Please follow me there. Follow The David Pakman Show on Twitter as well, at David Pakman Show, not surprisingly. If you love learning new things, you probably want to check this out. The David Pakman Show today is sponsored by Skillshare, and we're giving you 2 entire months of free access to Skillshare when you click the link underneath this video. Skillshare is a vibrant online learning community offering more than 25,000 video classes on just about anything you can think of. Get better at playing an instrument. Learn to use Photoshop. How to edit videos. They have classes on drawing, painting, business, cooking, nutrition, personal productivity, and I'm not even really scratching the surface. I recently took a great class on introductory watercolor painting. I'm still not good, but I am learning, and you can access the entire library of fun, easy to use online courses for free for 2 months by using the link underneath this video. 2 months of learning something that's totally new to you, something you want to get better at, something you already love, or you can get ahead in your career by learning new skills that will help you at your job. I've gotten a ton out of it. Pat has taken some courses that he's found really valuable, and I think you'll love it too. Get started for free by clicking the link under this video.